Hi guys, welcome if you are new here. I'm so happy to have you. To my Patreon subscribers, welcome back to the channel. So for today's video, we are going to be talking about Elon Musk and Joe Rogan was talking on his podcast that apparently Elon Musk has made an election night ad with the result that was reported in states 4 hours prior before the results was released nationally by the Associated Press. So we are going to be discussing that in this video. Now, I'm recording on a different software platform because the platform that I use, StreamYard, has been so many issues. You guys have seen a lot of my videos. It has been cutting out. The Wi-Fi terrible. I did multiple tests on my computer. The Wi-Fi is very fast, very strong. I don't get what's happening. So I'm using this on my computer. I'm really praying that I'm actually recording this right now and not recording this. But anyway, besides the point, this video is being recorded on Sunday, November 10th at 12:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can see the time there. And yeah, so again, this video is just for entertainment purposes only and educational purposes only as well. So I want to thank all of you guys for those of you guys who left really nice, very nice comments. I've been trying my best to get back to all of you. I believe I got back to the majority of you. I will be answering more of your comments very soon. Just let me know what you think of today's video. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Now, I want you to do me a favor. There is a link that I'm going to put in the description and also in the comment section. I want you to do that whenever you get a chance. This a link allows you to have access to the White House and be able to make complaints or directly contact the White House with any complaint that you have. And when there's a certain amount of complaints, the president has no choice but to address those complaints. So if you have an issue or you see something, you say something, when it comes to your ballot or whatever, put it in the description, send it to the White House, and make it known that you have an issue so that they can investigate. The only way that we can do something is when you allow them to have the ability to investigate by telling them the situation that you are experiencing for yourself. Without further ado, let's just begin. I'm kind of staying as openly minded as possible because I don't know what this video is going to pertain. We will be doing a separate video as well regarding what happened on election night, because I feel like that's going to be very important for us to understand the future. We need to look back to the past. And then I'll do a separate video as well as how America is going to be remembered during this time period in the history books. So there will be like 3 videos that will be separated, but each single one will have the corresponding information that is very important for us to really gather and understand what is going to take place and what we're entering into. So I don't have the luxury of stopping the video and cleaning up the table, so just bear with me. Let's just start, because I don't want to waste any time. So Spirit Angels tell me, how do I want to do this today? Because we want to talk about Elon Musk. Okay, so they want me to use this deck. Now, for those of you guys who are new here, I do have clear audience, so I can hear them in my ear. All right, so Spirit Angels tell me. So Elon Musk. Apparently, Joe Rogan on his podcast accidentally slipped that they knew the result, even including JD Vance knew the result of the presidential election prior to the Associated Press reporting it. Can you give us more intel on what we need to know about that? Maybe tell me what we see or what we don't see. Okay, they're telling me this has to be behind the scenes. So we're going to do that now, and then we'll do what we do see in the public eye. So Spirit Angels tell me, what don't we see behind the scenes regarding the issue of Elon Musk creating an election night app that's only for those in positions of power that can access the result hours before the actual result is reported live. Okay. And last section. Okay. Oh, we have that card again. All right. So this is behind the scenes. I'm going to actually try to pull this back further so you can see better. Okay. Maybe I should move the Christmas stuff. I have to move the Christmas stuff forward so you guys can see this. All right, perfect. Spirits and angels, tell me, what do we see out in the open? Like, what is publicly known that we can see about regarding Elon Musk and Joe Rogan accidentally releasing that they knew the result 4 hours prior to the election? I feel like I'm missing cards in this deck. Okay, they told me to split it 3 ways. Okay. Spirit angels, tell me, what do we need to know about Elon Musk? They told me to flip this. What happened with his ab, so-called? What do we need to know about what happened on election night and how they knew the results 4 hours prior? So for the top quadrant, what do we see out in the open? Okay. What do we see? What don't we see out? What do we see out in the open for the second quadrant? Okay. What card is the lover card challenging? Spirit angel, flip the card. What card is challenging the lover card? Well, what card is the lover card challenging? Okay. Sometimes wording matters, you know. All right. And for the third quadrant. Okay. For the third quadrant, Spirit angel, tell me, what do we see out in the open regarding Elon Musk's ab and the results that took place on election night? And I feel like I'm missing cards here, like in the deck. Feels a lot skinnier than normal, you know. That could just be because of the weight loss. Who knows? Anyway, that was a little joke. I don't know why I even said that. Anyway, besides the point, I hope that you guys can be able to hear me. I hope the audio is good on this thing. Never really done this before, so we will see. Anyway. So on this card here, for what we see out in the open, we have the Tower card, defeating the incumbent. Now, the Tower card for me normally means the downfall of a king or a queen, or a downfall of a leader, somebody in control, which is why you have the Tower card and the crown falling and being struck down. That card is reversed. What does that tell me? It tells me that there is a clear winner here, and it wasn't Trump. Because the reason why I know it wasn't Trump, well, look at the next card that's next to it. We have the reverse Queen of Wands. Okay? The reverse Queen of Wands. Now, the reverse Queen of Wands is a woman energy, feminine energy, right? Someone who's very spiritual, stays in tune with themselves, right? We have somebody who's very sturdy, calm, and looking straight forward. Well, looking to the side, really. But anyway, besides the point, she has a sunflower here. Now, when you look at this card, you're seeing somebody very strong, sturdy, kind of looking towards the distance to the angle. But, you know, when you see this, she's looking towards the Tower card, looking towards that loss, right? But that loss wasn't a loss, right? Now, with this Queen of Wands here being reversed, what this is telling me, it is telling me that she did not lose, because the card normally, when this is reversed, it means that this means that the incumbent lost the election, or lost power, or lost control, right? Because they're no longer sitting in that seat. However, it is, when it's upright, it means that they are in power, they won power, or they're going to be in control, or currently in control. That's how I view the card. But the card was reversed. But the fact that the Tower card reversed was also reversed right next to it, that tells me one thing. It tells me, no, this person, this Tower moment, this toppling of the incumbent party, which is the Democratic Party, did not happen, right? That is why the Tower card is reversed, standing right next to the Queen of Wands, right? This is what we saw out in the open. This is what our intuition is telling us. It is telling us in the open, what you saw was not the actual results, right? Now, behind the scenes, when it comes to Elon Musk and the results and the data, you have the Libra card. Oh my God, okay, we have the rocket ship, right? We have the rocket ship, and we have some dude, I don't even know who this is, but you have this dude, right, trying to be pulled down by the American people, right, being pulled down. Now, you have this rocket ship, right? It clearly is weighing a lot of pounds in order to offset it with one individual staying on that scale, right? When you put something really heavy on a scale and something really light on the other, one is going to dip down than the other, and it's an unfair advantage, unfair balance. When you see here, you see the people coming together trying to bring this candidate across the finish line. What is this telling me? It's telling me that the Trump campaign is weighing a lot of heavy. They had a lot of maneuver, a lot of tricks, a lot of dirty maneuvering that made it a very high disadvantage for Kamala Harris. And almost every outcome that I'm seeing in the card here, one outcome showed a Kamala Harris victory out of multiple Donald Trump victories. Now, I'm not saying that Donald Trump won the election, but what I am saying is, it is telling me here that the disadvantage is so great that no matter what Kamala Harris would have done out of 100 scenarios, she only would have been succeeded one time. And that is why this card is reversed. This card is reversed because it tells me here behind the scene, the people did not choose Trump, they chose Kamala Harris. There was a lack of disadvantages for the Kamala Harris campaign. The fact that this card is reversed, though, is telling me that behind the scenes, the result was actually known, which is very interesting, and it really explains why Donald Trump and the Kamala Harris team are so quiet right now. None of them are even talking. You know, Donald Trump should be gloating about victory, saying that we're making America great, you know, blah, blah, blah. He's not saying anything. He's a zero. He's quiet. He's not doing anything because they know something. And the disadvantage here is outweighed by the American people, because the American people outweigh the disadvantages. But they made it seem, because the media is scared right now, that Donald Trump might do something to them. And so what they're doing is they're announcing online, hey, listen, Donald Trump won, and these are the seats that he won in this order. The math just doesn't make sense. Now, the card that's right next to it, behind the scene here, it's being also aided by the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands here is telling me here, like Department of Education, a lot of Americans, when it comes to the educational system, the historical perspective, the presidency and how elections work, they were very well ill-informed. And though this thing that is currently ongoing within the United States was not a plan that was set up once in a blue moon, it was set up decades in advance. Donald Trump just happened to be the guy for the moment for them to enact their plan. But this has been a plan that was put in place to degrade the United States democracy and to make it possible that a lot of Americans are ill-informed on the real truth of the matter and making it easier to manipulate. And so it feels like to me that the Republican Party wanted to make sure that they could be able to bring back, quote unquote, the greatness of the Jim Crow law era, 1964. That's what they kind of want to go back to, and that's what I'm seeing in the cards here, is seeing that going back, that the whole plan was that there was some sort of vengeance that pertained to the past. There's something that happened that they can't do now that they want to go back to doing again. And that's what the Two of Wands are doing by dissuading people from understanding the truth by not telling them the truth. And that is what we don't see behind the scenes. It's this motive, this idea, this concept that's being put out, this plan that to enable this behavior, to say, oh, well, it's because of racism that they didn't choose her. No, I don't really see racism here. I don't see it's not because she's a woman. I mean, because she's a woman, blah, blah, blah. I don't see that. I see people overlook those things. They saw the country. They had a choice, whether it was democracy or authoritarianism. They don't care if you're a woman or not. They do not care. And that's what the media is portraying right now. She lost because she's a woman. She lost because she's a minority. She lost because she's a black woman. She didn't lose because of those things. Those are things that were created and made and fictional, created by the media as valid reason for why you should not vote for somebody. The media is just as complicit as the Republicans in this aspect. Now, going to the second quadrant here, we have what is being shown in the public scene when it comes to Elon Musk and his ad. Well, we have the Emperor card. Now, this Emperor card is being underneath the Queen of Wands here. It's upright. This is the Emperor card. This is the card that represents Donald Trump's energy back in 2017 all the way to 2021. This is the card that represents him. It falls directly under the Queen of Wands, and it's being challenged by the Lover card. The Lover card, if you guys all know and remember from 2020, This was my card that represented the Biden administration and the incoming campaign and incoming administration with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden unifying the country under the two gender dynamics that they're coming together. This is the challenge here that people, like I said, across many boundaries, agreed that it does not matter if a woman or man is in the White House. What matters is we're able to make sure that we can still have the United States at home. Now, we do have the Tower card. And the Tower card feels like the Ace of Cups. There's an outpouring of votes here, but it's not for the president, right? This is what we saw. We saw many votes come in for the former president, and he won re-election on that. It's being challenged by the Lovers card, which is the Biden-Harris administration, which we all know the Biden administration right now is very unpopular among many demographics and across many party lines. Biden is very unpopular. But what doesn't make sense to me is that the Lovers card is being challenged by the Ace of Cups, which indicates that there's a high volume of vote count, there's a high enthusiasm level, and the Emperor card, which is the Donald Trump card, which falls directly underneath the Queen of Wands, which tells me that there is something shady going on that makes it appear that everything was being caused directly by the Biden administration, but that's not really the case. Now let's take a look and see what's behind the scene that was going on in this aspect when it goes around evolving around Elon Musk's app. I find it's really interesting that this is all coming out and it seems to be like this is the information that we're going to be receiving. Okay, so I don't even know what that is. That must be like dust. Okay, anyway, let's take a look and see. We're going to kind of do it the way that we got last time. So we got the Knight of Swords reversed, right? Oops. This is a black woman who is injured. She's in her, I don't even know what that is. I just know it's something medical. The Knight card is reversed, actually. Okay, that card is reversed. We have the Strength card. Women again. I tell you, this deck has more women here than I even know. Or at least that's what it appears to be. Another woman here. Strength card reversed and being arrested. We have here this card, which is the Nine of Swords, right? Service animal, veterans, military. And we have here the Seven of Cups, the Seven of Coins, right? And we have another woman. The only one that we see here, and I'm telling you right now, the only thing that we see here that's male is the veterans. That's the only male here. Every single other card is all female. Women, women, women. Right? Now we got to ask ourselves what is going on behind the scene that we see publicly. We saw the loss of the Biden administration. Everybody's blaming Biden right now for the loss of Kamala Harris, and because she didn't have the votes that got turned out and led to Donald Trump's victory, right? That is what we see out in the open. Now, what do we see behind the scene that's going on while this is all playing out? Well, we have the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords, for me, is telling me that there is some sort of struggle coming. There is some sort of movement, something that halted. Now, normally somebody who's in crushes, that's what the word is, crushes, okay? When somebody's in crushes, they move slow moving. But they're getting to their destination slowly. The fact that that card is reversed, which means that the crushes are slow indication. This card is telling me that there's something fast that's going on. Maybe it might mean that the election and the result that came out came out way too fast for it to be legitimized. How do you count that many ballots? How do you count millions of votes that quickly? When a lot of state laws dictate that you cannot open the ballots until election day. It doesn't make sense that they were able to count millions and millions of ballots that quickly, especially in populated blue counties. Now we have here it's being challenged, it's being aided by the Strength card in reverse, which is all about women. They've been staying behind the scene that women didn't come out and vote. They didn't come out in numbers. They didn't come out in strength. This is behind the scene. And this card is reversed. Normally this means that there is some sort of limitation on women coming together. Actually, I want to see what this means here. It says non-timidus novae res. I'll state it for you now. So if you want to look it up and kind of see what it means, that might be a key indicator for what this might be indicating for behind the scenes. Now that card is reversed, and what this card is telling me here that's being aided by the fast-paced movement of the Knight of Swords, it is telling me that there is a lack in strength in terms of movement. There's weakness behind it. because the fact that the strength card is reversed at high, fast-paced energy behind the scenes is telling me that there's weakness that was moving really fast, and because it was moving way too fast, it weakened as it was going faster. It reminded me very similar to like a hurricane. When a hurricane wailed on the landmass, it loses power and strength once it hits the landmass, and it slowly goes slower and slower down. It loses its anticipation, it loses its wind power, its wind force, but it's still a destructive wind force, but it doesn't have as much power as when it first made landfall. Now it's being challenged by the Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Swords is going behind the scene, disruption, upheaval. People feel like, oh look at that, he also has a disability. It feels like to me that there's some sort of what's it called? There's some sort of movement within the military that is seeking to and make sure that Donald Trump doesn't take power. But what it also is telling me as well, it is telling me at the same exact time when all this is going on, that there are also another faction of the military that is encouraging Donald Trump to become president. So I feel like there is some sort of divide that is undergoing and happening behind the scenes within the military. This now could be mindset, it could be how people are feeling, it could be physical, it could be actual planning. We don't know exactly what is going on, but there is some sort of something that's happening. The energy in the military is happening. It's fast paced, it's weak, but people are thinking like this. So in the military, so I wonder if that might be indicating something. And then it's also being aided by the Seven of Coins, and the Seven of Coins means opportunities here, right? You're still working. You're working for those tips. You're trying to make sure that you're able to get to where you gotta go. I wonder if the tip card here is telling me that there is some sort of movement or energy that's gonna happen, or something's gonna be released. There's like a whistleblower within this demographic or within this group here. That's behind the scenes right now. That's going to be released publicly. And how do I know that? Well, because the tip jar. The tip jar is showing somebody putting something in, which tells me someone is going to release information about what happened behind the scenes regarding the loss and the election of Donald Trump. It's going to be pertaining to this demographic here and behind the scenes. So I would not be surprised if this is a male, specifically someone who was in on it, and then has an immense guilt that it was even actually be able to happen, was able to work. And I feel like this person might be thinking in their head, weighing their options right now, what they should do, whether or not they should allow this to continue and save their life, or risk their life, but be able to save democracy. That's something that I find out to be really interesting here. Because we have the Seven of Cups here again. The cups are not even full, but she's working hard, she's working efficiently, she's a barista. And what does baristas do? They make artwork, they make art, right? They take time, passion, love, and energy into their coffees. So the fact that this card is even showing up here, right when it coinciding with the Knight of the Swords reverse, which indicates slowness, the Strength card reverse, which indicates weakness, and then we have here someone with not mental clarity, and you have the military here being aided by the service animal, which is telling me as well that there's some sort of calming down. I mean, someone talking to this individual who is very vulnerable and is in a state of what's it called, upheaval. It almost feels like they don't feel comfortable, like something's wrong in their gut, and they're like, okay, I have to do something about this. I have enough information. I would not be surprised if there is a whistleblower that comes out and releases the information that we see here in the second quadrant. I wonder if this is the next step. Right? Well, I wonder if this is the next step to how everything gets blown out of proportion and gets released. Because we have here, ooh, interesting. Okay, so we have here under the Tower card, we have the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups mean there's a transfer, there's an agreement, right? There's unity, two people coming together. And what do you have here? You have the Democrats and the voters. That has always been my card. This has always been my card for the Democrat voters. Right? The Democrats agreeing with their voters to come out and vote in enthusiasm and high numbers. This is the third quadrant here. And what's the third quadrant telling me already? It is telling me that this is a step-by-step. So this was what happened with Elon Musk. This is what is currently going to take place. And this is the final outcome, is what this technically means. Now, this layout was just made out by me because I do everything based on intuition. The fact that I was able to figure out that layout might be really interesting to see. Now, we have two cards here that I didn't realize was here. So I guess we're going to read that in a second to see if they're aiding more into the second quadrant. But We have here the Two of Cups here that falls underneath the Tower card reverse. The Ace of Cups reverse being challenged by the Lovers card. It's telling me here that there's some sort of agreement here that the downfall of the Biden administration, the downfall of Kamala Harris did not happen, and then the final outcome is Kamala Harris' victory. Now, underneath the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Wands, what we saw earlier on election night, we had the Queen of Wands reverse, which means we saw the loss of Kamala Harris and the election of Donald Trump, who's being challenged by the Biden administration. He's blaming the Biden administration for, and a lot of Democrats are blaming the Biden administration for the loss to Donald Trump. That's what we see in the second quadrant. This is what we're in right now. We already passed this. It's already happened. This is what we're seeing right now. This is what we're entering into. We have the Justice card underneath the Emperor, right? What does Justice bring? It brings an equal balance, right? Balance, a force to be reckoned with. You have the sword, right? There's a king back in power again. The incumbent is in power again. It's what it feels like. The incumbent is back in power. And I find that to be very interesting because this is a young male. Again, a young male, and this is somebody who took their rightful place on the throne. Now, this also kind of indicates a woman, so I wouldn't be far off if this woman is a masculine energy, but has a feminine appearance. I wonder if that's how Kamala comes off as, just someone who's very masculine because she is fighting for something that otherwise, when you look at Kamala Harris, she kind of took a step back. Not saying that, that relates to feminism and relating to the feminine energy. It's not that. It's more so the fact of who she is, and she's more masculine, so she's willing to fight. That's why I say black women are the best type of people to put in positions of power because they will fight to the very end. Whereas any other guy or any other woman is not willing to do it the same and have the same ambition and power as a black woman would. Now, we have here, that is what we see out in the open. This is what we're going to head into. We're going to see all this take place. They're going to find justice, and the rightful winner is going to be restored. It's going to be back upright. Which is why we have this democratic agreement. This is what we saw. This is what was behind the scenes, right? Well, this is what was in the open. This is behind the scenes. And this is a justice card here, right? Justice for the American people. And one of the cards that's being represented behind the scenes here, the Ace of Cups. Again, that's the same card, same meaning. We have the Bison here. The Bison, well, you got to grab them by the horns, right? And when you grab something by the horns, you got to pull them down. When you pull them down, they can't lift up their head. Therefore, they're not able to move forward or even walk because they're just too busy focusing on trying to get you off them like a 30 past you are, that they can't stop. But they can't seem to be able to move forward because you're stopping them. You're causing them an obstacle that they didn't expect to be there. And so the Ace of Cups here means something is cooking. Right? Something is cooking. You have this blue guy. He's sitting down. He's chilling. He's relaxing while these two Bisons are fighting it out. Right? The Democratic Party is going to come out on top, is what is saying here. That's behind the scene. I actually find this very interesting that this is showing up in the Elon Musk reading. That I feel like the app is something related to the app. The reason why this is coming all coming out now, which is the most weird that it comes out related to Elon Musk. But we do have here the two cards here that was on this side. We have the Page of Wands reverse, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of Cups reverse. Now, when Donald Trump left the White House back in 2020, this is the card that I got. It was upright. It said that he lost the White House and he's leaving the White House. Like, this is Donald Trump. He's a Republican. He's in red, and he's walking away, right? This is the card that I see for Donald Trump. This time, it's reversed. What is telling me here in this second quadrant that he won the election. That's the appearance that it looks like that I told you that was happening. Now, remember, this is the challenge to the Lover card. It's a challenge to the Emperor card and the challenge to the Ace of Cups. Well, what does that mean to you? Well, that means that the appearance out in the open is appearing as if Donald Trump, well, he's no longer walking away. He is now the next president-elect of the United States. That is what that card is telling me in that quadrant. It is being aided by the Page of Wands, which means new member, new entity, new energy, a young person with new hope, growing a new future, new idea, new progression, right? We went backwards, right? You see the stand doing, you see everything going back to when things were just dry, right? There was no movement, there was no potential, there was no room for growth. Excuse me. And that is what this Page of Wands reverse means. It means that the challenge to the card here is the fact that a young person was cheated out and was not able to progress their idea, this brand new energy that Americans are desiring. And that is what's out in the open. That we see the second quadrant. I feel like the second quadrant is going to be explosive. And kind of see that here as relates to Elon Musk and his energy and his app and stuff like that. I'm going to actually ask, now that we have all this information, what is going to happen to Elon Musk? Because clearly, all this information has come out, has clearly pertained directly to the election and the election result. How and why is it coming out now that that is how everything plays out? So we are going to look at that in a minute. Okay. Now, normally to the part where we stopping the reading and then just resetting up once they put everything in the deck, but that doesn't seem to be a possible outcome right now. So anyway, besides the point. So Spirit Angels, tell me about Elon Musk and his interference in the United States 2024 presidential election. Will somebody come forward with a whistleblower, and will he get put in jail or deported? Okay. Spirit Angels, tell me about Elon Musk and his interference in the 2024 presidential election. Give me past, present, future. Will there be a whistleblower? Will he go to jail? Will he get deported? What's happening to Elon Musk? And will it ever be told in the public? Okay. Okay, and the final outcome card here for Elon Musk. Thank you. We have the 10 of Wands reverse, which means lack of struggle. So we'll see. Okay, so we have the Page of Swords here reverse, right? This new guy came on his energy. You know, I never really liked the idea that he named a lot of his industry after Tesla, especially what happened to Tesla, and he disrespected the name of Nikola Tesla. We have the Page of Swords. He's a guy who thinks and comes out as somebody who is very influential, is very intelligent, very smart, knows exactly what he's doing, and he's a tech genius. That is not what that card telling me. It's all of a star. That was the persona that he put on. His people that he hired are actually the tech genius and stuff like that. He himself is not. He's just portraying himself as if he is, right? We have the Temperance card, and the Temperance card is telling me here that there is some sort of equal balance that's going to be coming soon, because this is in the present tense, right? We're asking about Elon Musk and his interference in the election. This is an automatic yes card. We have the Hierophant and the final outcome card. Something is going to be restored, but there's some sort of installment of power. Normally when a pope goes in, normally they are installed or they are elected by the people. I don't really know exactly 100% because I'm not religious, but if I recall correctly how the Romans do it, they elect people, I believe. Don't quote me on that. Okay, so we have here the Page of Swords. We have the Lovers card. Again, the Lovers card. I'm telling you guys, this is the Supreme Court. The Lovers card here. We have Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She's really working it out, because every reading that we have so far, Ruth Bader Ginsburg has been in. So she makes her appearance again. I wonder if she's having some sort of effect, spiritually on the country right now. Because we have the Lovers card and falls underneath the Page of Swords reversed. And the Page of Swords is new energy, this momentum moving forward. This isn't the past, this is the election, right? The Lovers card, the Biden-Trump administration. We have here underneath the Temperance card. It also has here 50 years loving Virginia. I also feel like that also relates to abortion and women too. So that's also key. But underneath the Temperance card, we have this card. We have the 7 of Swords, which means fighting, people getting arrested, people fighting. This is all women. Right? The Temperance card. Calmness, peace, something happening. I feel like the Temperance card is telling me right now that there's a moment of peace and quiet. Nobody's doing anything. There's silence. Right? You hear it right now. Look, watch, listen. You hear that? That's silence. And that is the 7 of Wands here. The 7 of Wands here reverts undergoing the Temperance card, was telling me that there is some sort of quietness. Someone's hiding. Someone's being very quiet. Now, we have the Hierophant card here, which is being challenged by the Judgmental card reverse, which is people actually going to vote, which I never seen this card before. I don't know what this means, but if you know Latin, try to look this up and let me know what it means. But you have people going to the voting booth. You have a woman going in and casting a ballot. and the Hierophant. We're asking whether or not, he's going to be found out information. Because we have the other comment, then you have the Hierophant installment, right? We have the judgment card, people going out and voting the person out of office. I'm going to ask for a clarified card because I feel like we're not getting a definitive answer what's going on with Elon Musk and his interference in the election. Can you clarify the judgment card, please? One more card. Thank you. Okay. We have here the Nine of Cups, right? We have somebody coming together, right? Making a plan, community. The fact that this is interesting, the fact that the community card comes up twice, when people make a judgment, when people go to poll, that's in a community effort. Like you're coming together, people from all different demographics, from all different walks of life, try to encourage one another to go out to the polls and vote. We have that judgment card underneath the Hierophant. I wonder if this is telling me what's in what we see here and what's behind the scenes. I wonder if this is the layout that they're going with. Because we have the judgment card here and that's reversed. And this is the installment of a position of power, somebody in position of power here. And you have the Nine of Cups being reversed, you have the judgment card being reversed, which is also the indicator of people not being able to come together, people feeling like they're left out. And you do have here the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands, again, is coming out. And what it is telling me that there's some sort of manufacturing of what happened. And this is why we have Donald Trump being elected. Now, let me ask. One card. Oh, look, the presidency card at the bottom. That means that, this entire reading is telling you, did Elon Musk interfere? Again, yeah, most likely. Again, this video is just for entertainment purposes only. Now, spiritual angels tell me, did Elon Musk interfere in the 2024 presidential election? Yes or no? One card. Okay, they gave me 3, so I guess that's it. I guess we'll take it. Okay. We have the 3 of coins, or the 3 of pentacles. That is telling me that voters are going to the polls and voting, but they couldn't vote because that guy was dumping out emptiness. We have the 5 of wands, which means that some people who went to the polls didn't fight fast enough. They just didn't understand why they were turned away or why they couldn't go out and vote. I assume that has to relate to the bomb threat. I wonder if Elon Musk is related in some sort of connection to that. And you do have here the 10 of wands reversed. And the 10 of wands reversed is telling me that, excuse me, there's a lack of struggle. There's a forward anticipation of what they're doing. They fully know well what they're doing. I wonder if you can clarify a card here. This is the reverse 5 of swords. The reverse 5 of swords means walking away, but you won the victory, you won the line. I don't see him winning. But he did interfere, because we have the balance here. We have people lack of voting, people being turned away. You have here barely any effort to do this. Like, they basically cleared out any obstacles. There were people in position of power who were well behind this. Actually, you know what? Speaking of that, I should read up on the plan between Speaker Johnson and Donald Trump and trying to see what was going on in that aspect. And we have the 9 of Cups here reversed. I feel very strongly now that information related to Elon Musk is going to be released. I do feel that in due time, of course. And going to state that she actually won majority of the swing states. She's going to lose a couple, but she's going to win majority of them. So it's actually going to be more of a sweep. I kind of feel like, she might lose, maybe in Nevada and Arizona, but she might win Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan. Actually, no, I feel like, this is what I feel like the map looks like. I feel like she won Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Nevada, and Arizona and North Carolina, but lost Georgia. That's what it feels like. Actually mixed the cards together. Oopsie. Alright, so anyway, guys, again, don't forget to fill out that link below and just let the White House know if you have any complaints or any concerns, and let them know to investigate what has happened. Let them know your experience. I will put the link in the description below, and actually share with your friends and everything like that. Just share that link. That is what you need to know. And I will see you guys in the next video. I will probably be covering now the secret plan to Donald Trump and Speaker Johnson. Until then, guys, Love you, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.